Good morning. You are live with Color Energy, and I'm your host, Susanne Murphy. Today's topic is about karma. I wanted to talk about karma because I get people asking me all kinds of questions. Now, of course, because I'm a metaphysician, I get asked a lot of really interesting questions. Not to say I know the answers to everything, but because I've been in this industry for almost 30 years, I have been confronted by a lot of things that affect people. So I wanted to talk about karma, partially because we do have a line of karma products and people don't always know how to use them or what they're intended for. So I'm going to talk about karma so this way everybody can understand a little bit more about what karma is and how it affects us. Now, in Hinduism, they say the sum of a person's actions in this life and previous states of existence is viewed as deciding their fate of the future existences. Now, furthermore, it could be good luck or bad luck, and it's reviewed as from all our actions. In a way, it is cause and effect. Now, there's a lot of things we don't always understand, and this is one of the things I get challenged by. And when I say the word challenge, I don't mean it in a negative way, but have we lived before? What's happened to us pre-birth during the birthing experience? What about the future, our fate, our destiny? Are all these things laid in stone? I don't know because I don't remember past lifetimes. I don't predict the future. I can't predict the future, but I do believe in cause and effect. So I do believe in karma. I believe that if I'm a good person and I do good things, good fortune and good things will come my way. Why? Well, I also believe in you are what you resonate. And what that means to me is that whatever energy I put out, whether it's positive or negative, this is what's going to come back to me. And I remember teaching a class once, and one of my students, him and his wife, I just loved, how they spoke about different things. And he said, "I'm building karma Mastercard points." And I said, "What do you mean by that?" He said, "Well, I want to do good in my life. So that way, when it comes to the end of my life and into possibly next lives, I know that I've put forth good intentions." And I really like that because it's a philosophy I resonate with and I lead in my life because I do believe that as a soul spirit on this earth, whatever I put out will be part of my future. And we have control over that. Now, why do we have control? Because we have choices. We have choices of what direction we want to head in our life. But sometimes we feel that we're being hindered. And these are what we can call karmic blockages, whatever that means to you. And I'll share with you another story. I was teaching a class, or actually, I wasn't teaching a class, I was hosting a class. And we had this person come from the UK who was a very well known psychic in the UK. He's since retired. And Brian came here and he taught a course on, energy and the aura and things to do with how to improve your own energy. And he was psychic in the sense that he could see things from people's past and things that were hindering them. And I remember him saying to this woman, "You have a black cloud hanging over you." And she was a nurse, and I'm going, "Oh my goodness, why is he saying that to her? This is, a student that's come to this class to learn more about herself, and he's going into the fact that she's got this black cloud hanging over her." And he said, "If you'd like, I can help you get rid of that." And I could see her nod. And so they had a discussion, and there were some different dynamics that went on. Well, a few days later, she phoned me up after the class and she said, "Susanne, I just want to share something with you. My life, I have felt that I've had a black cloud looming over me, and it's gone now." And I thought to myself, wow, this is incredible because sometimes we do feel lucky or unlucky. Sometimes we feel that there's something from our past that is hindering us from moving forward in something, whether it's emotional, whether it is something, that we could call karmic debt. Now, I believe when we talk about karmic debt is, something that we're repeating that we don't understand and will continue to repeat because there's a lesson for us to learn. And until we learn that lesson, it may continue to, bite us in the back. And, because of that, we have to understand that when there is something repeating in our life, wow, guess what? We have the control to change it. Now, how do we change it? That's, to me, one of the more difficult subjects to have with people, because when you have something that's repeating in your life, there has to be some understanding. Now, because there might be that connection to past lives or, the birthing experience, and I could, tell you stories on that too, where I've had a session with a client and I have sensed that there was something going on in their birthing experience. And I've asked them to tell me about their birthing experience. And I've had stories like, people have had the umbilical cord wrapped around their neck that they, almost didn't survive the birthing experience. I've had people, who have confessed to me that, their parents weren't expecting them, and so their birth was unplanned. So all these things that can happen post-life, pre-birth, because even when you're in your mother's womb, you're picking up on so many things in your environment. And then again, the birthing experience, was there any trauma during that? There could be trauma that could have happened in our childhood. And again, often these things, from our past, from our pre-birth, birthing, and childhood, are things we may not know of or recognize or remember. So there's things that are hidden in or I call it the auric DNA, things that are hidden in our auric DNA that need to be released. But if we don't know what the connection is, what can we do? Well, there's this noted alchemist, Anthony Cooper, who created this alchemy line of products to help us facilitate a shift in our auric field, that could be hindering us from progressing forward. And he has 5 different alchemy essences, one for past life, one for pre-birth and the birthing experience, and also with childhood trauma or lots of different trauma that can happen in our life. There's also an essence that is to deal with the future, to just sort of help open the doors, and another one for spiritual enlightenment. And they're all connected to different things. For example, we have one called Purpose that's intended for helping you connect to your soul purpose. This one, which is one of my favorites, and this is the first one I'm always suggesting people use, it's called Comfort. And it's dealing with the present moment and the feelings and the conditions that have resulted up until this moment in time that could be, again, hindering our energy from moving forward. And, we carry our Karma Lights in both a roll-on and a spray. I'm introducing to you the spray. I wanted to share with you, this is a product we're going to be coming out with very soon, but I wanted to talk a little bit about it because, again, karma is a really, important factor in our life, because remember, karma is the cause and effect. So whatever has been causing you pain and suffering in your life can have an effect on you. So we can use tools to help us get beyond that. And so Comfort is designed, to help us deal with any feelings and emotions that are hindering us. It's to help us through times of difficulty. When children have parents going through divorce, or when, either of the person going through divorce is going through an emotional turmoil, then again, this is very comforting. A loss of a job, loss of financial security, maybe bankruptcy, maybe investing in something and the investment doesn't pan out. All these things can have an effect on us emotionally. So this is a spray. All you do is simply spray above your head, allow the particles of the Comfort to work on your auric DNA. And at the same time, you're inhaling the molecules, and that will help to facilitate the shift. And it's something you have to do multiple times. I tell everyone, I wish I had a magic pill that you take this magic pill and voila, your life changes or circumstances change. But you also have to be a willing participant. You have to have an awareness. You have to you have to, what they call, put your heart and soul into it. And the reason being is because when you're here to learn a lesson, that lesson has to be learned. There is no shortcut. However, when we use, high vibrational tools, what that does is it helps to release the emotions that you can deal with the circumstances. And that is really important. You don't have to remember, past lives, because, that can be very difficult or virtually impossible. But to have a feeling or a sensation that you can actualize and then, create that change to create that effect. And sometimes we have to go, how do I want to share this with you? Sometimes we have to think about things that are bothering us and how that affects us, because that is part of who we are. So, for example, if you're sad because of the loss of a friend or a family member, again, we can use the essence to comfort us, but we have to also deal with the feelings of that loss. And this is, again, to help us be comforted during that trying time. But when I look at the loss, I'm looking at, okay, how is it affecting me? Well, it's somebody who I loved. And of course, that person's no longer going to be part of my life. Now, the wonderful thing about, life is having these emotions, but also the memories to remember that person. So, the point of the karma comfort spray is to help you deal with those feelings so it doesn't hinder you in times of tragedy. Because I know when I've lost somebody in my life, it can have an effect on me, not just for a few days, but for the rest of my life. However, to have those positive memories and to feel comforted during those times of loss. So you can use this anytime, not if you're going through that experience, but if you're just feeling a little low or you're remembering somebody in your life that you've lost. Again, just give yourself a couple sprays, feel that loving vibration, bring back the memories of that person, feel good about it, feel good about the times that you had with them, and, allow that feeling of loss to convert and transmute into something more positive. Because when people impact our lives, it's something that can change us. Our parents, how they've helped us learn and grow as a child, both positive and negative, influences us who we are as an adult. Okay, so karma also is described as whatever you reap is what you're going to sow. And again, this is another thing that sometimes there's parts of us that we haven't fully integrated. And because we teach about our color intelligence, when there's something that maybe we're in excess of or in a negative aspect, that we need to convert it into something positive. So let's think of an example. Okay, well, sometimes I'm an A4 type of personality. I like to do things in a certain format, and sometimes that could make me judgmental. So when I get upset about being judgmental of how other people do things, I have to remember, with myself, that I'm judgmental to myself. It's not that I'm judgmental to others, it's also I'm judgmental to myself. And when I hurt myself, I can hurt others, because when I'm not happy with my, my judging ways, then of course I become condescending and judgmental towards other. And this is when we can, bring in these different energy tools to help us, release these negative emotions and grow from it and become, a more unified spirit. This spray, Purpose, I love this because it helps to keep me on my life path, because sometimes I need to remember what my, duties are here as a soul, human being. And I always let everyone know, our spirit is put into this human form to have these human experiences so we can, to participate in this life and learn from our different experiences. So karma is an action, and the future is not set in stone. This is the wonderful thing about karma is, again, what we reap is what we sow, or cause and effect. This is what we're talking about. We can change our future, and we can change the path of our life by changing the acts and our destructive patterns. And this is the purpose of these karma, karma sprays and karma essences, is to help guide us on a new path or help us to shift in a more positive light. So, these different karma sprays and roll-ons are to just support us. Now, other things that I suggest people do is sit down with what it is that you want to shift in your life, whether it is, about letting someone go because they've been a huge part of your life and they're no longer part of your life, because part of the karma is also letting go of people who are no longer conducive to your life. Sometimes we have to let go of friendships, people who have been very close to us, but maybe they're not on the same path as us. So in that case, maybe we'll use the purpose spray combined with the comfort. So sometimes you might use 2 or 3 sprays, but we do have a series of sprays to kind of help clear up, things that are working on that karmic level. So comfort is the first one to help you with the present moment. Then you use the karma spray that is to do with pre-birth and the birthing experience. Then we have another spray that is, renewal, to help you renew, your situations. It's also about finding your way in life. Then we have release, which is letting go of any fears that could be hindering you. And then we have the purpose, which is about current karmic conditions and, opening the doors to the future. And then we have enlightenment, which is helping you align with your spirit. So in essence, that's a little bit about our sprays that are coming out. And I'll be talking about each one in more detail, in an upcoming video. But I just wanted to talk about our karma. And through prayer and intention, we can help manifest these shifts. And so I'm actually writing an article right now about these different things. So as you venture into more about clearing up karma and, programming, new karmic conditions. So this way you're going to be more aligned with your soul purpose and reach that state of bliss in a faster, way, because that's the intention of this journey, is that we amalgamate all our energies to create that white light of enlightenment. This is part of our journey here in life. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please, share this video with other people that you think might benefit, and stay tuned for more information on karma.